Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to be talking about smart savings, stay ahead of inflation. I know it is hard to save money right now in the economy that we have, but I want to show you how you can maximize your savings with what you already have. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Laura Henry-Pugh. I am a certified money coach. I am a licensed financial professional, financial educator. That's what I'm doing today. I'm a speaker, author, and I've got pushing now about 45 years in the financial arena. First of all, you may be going, so what is inflation? We pretty much understand what inflation is because a lot of times that's when we actually feel it in our pocketbook is when the inflation is high. But the definition is it is the decline of buying power of your money. And this happens over a period of time. So what causes inflation? It has numerous sources. But it's really broken down into two categories. One is the demand pull, and the other one is the cost push. The demand pull, it transpires when there is an increase in demand for products or services, which can lead the companies to increase their prices to expand their profits. You'll see this a lot of times at Christmas, especially if you have children, because there's always that one toy that every child wants, but there's not enough supply, and a lot of people are looking for it. So the companies at that point can actually increase the price of that particular product. But then once the demand is down, and the supply is higher, then at that time, the cost will get lower. So that's the demand pull. The cost push, and I believe this is where we are right now, is when the companies increase their prices because their prices have gone up. So if you're looking at the minimum wage for salaries, a lot of that has gone up over the last 2 or 3 years, depending on what state that you're in. So at that point, to help compensate of paying higher wages, they have to increase their products or the services, or they actually lay off. Because bottom line, the companies do not want to go out of business. They're just wanting to break even so that way they can stay in business to provide that product or services to the communities. I'm going to kind of give you a history of inflation. I know this is a great topic, but I want you to have a general idea of what it was like in the past and where we are right now. In 1974, this is the average inflation rate, was at 11%. 1982 was a little bit over 6%. It was at 6.16%. In 2022, it was 6.5%. In 2023, it was at 4.1%. These are the highest interest rates over the last few years. This is the average. The lowest that the inflation rate's been in 2015 was 0.1%. 2016 was at 0.3%. In 2020 was 1.2%. And in 2018 was 2.4%. That is the lowest average. As of July of 2024, it is at 3%. That's not bad. It has lowered, but at the same time, we're still feeling it in the grocery store and at the gas pump. We are still recovering from the highest interest rates from 2022 and 2023. It is getting better, and I do anticipate the inflation rate to get better. I'm not sure how fast the grocery prices and the gasoline is going to drop. We'll wait and see where we're at on that. Many of you have heard of Warren Buffett. He is one of the major players in the financial world. He is a billionaire. And really, money has one job, and that is to make you money. Well, Warren Buffett has two rules. Two rules. One, don't lose money. Rule number two is don't forget rule number one, don't lose money. We're here to make money. We are trying to provide better care for our family. So we want to maximize what we have. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to do my best. I'm not the best in the technology. So if you would just, give me a moment, kind of get this set up. I appreciate your patience. Yep, there we go. As long as I hit the right buttons, we are doing good. All right, I think I have it. We're going to be talking about Rule 72. This is what I call the accumulation phase. This is how often our money will double. So if your rate of return is 1% and you're starting at age 29 and you have $10,000 in your account, you're not adding money to it and you're not taking it away. I like the simple math. So in 72 years, your money's going to double to 20,000 and you will be a whopping 101 years old. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't have time for 72 years to go by to double my money. So now let's look at 4%. Same scenario, but at age 65, you will have $40,000. So at 4%, you are doubling your money every 18 years. That's still a long time. And so by age 65, you'll have $40,000. And let's be honest, that is not enough money to retire on. So let's go another step. At 6%, this doubles every 12 years, much better. But still at 65, you're at $80,000. Most of us cannot live off of $80,000 for the rest of our lives. Next is 12%. It doubles every 6 years. This is a fantastic rate. Same scenario. You're starting out at 10,000 at age 29. That's why you need to start early. So by age 65, you're at $640,000. At age 71, you're almost at $1.3 million. This is a great place to be at the time of retirement. Again, it's best to start early, but even if you have not started yet and you're in your 40s and 50s, it's not too late. You need to really work on that for the future use. Next, we're going to look at how your money grows. You have a little sneak preview here. We'll get to it. This is the protection phase. This is the fixed accounts. Now, if the inflation rate is at 3%, like it is right now, most of our fixed accounts is 1% or less. There are some CD accounts, depending on the term of it, you might be able to earn more than the 3%, not by much. Your money will be protected here. You're not going to lose your money, but you're also not going to have that big growth of return. Next is a variable. This is where most of our retirement accounts are at. It can go up and down, up and down, up and down. In 2008, that was when the housing crisis took place. A lot of people who had planned on retiring did not retire because they lost so much money in their retirement account, they had to continue working. And we really don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to retire when you're ready to retire. So the variable, it plays off the stock market. And depending on how the stock market goes, then you can earn or you can lose. It can be good when it's growing, but if you're planning on retiring within the next year or two and that market drops, you have lost a lot of money. Index, this is one of my favorite type of accounts. Why? Because it is a hybrid of the fixed and the variable. So it works off of the S&P. So when the market goes up, you're earning a higher interest rate. But if the market drops, it actually locks in that money. You're not losing your principal. You're not losing the interest that you've already earned. This is why this type of account is really good, because you can earn when the market is good and you can lock it in when it goes bad. Next, we're going to see how your money gets taxed. This is the distribution phase. This is when you're actually removing the money from the accounts. You have your tax now accounts. This is your savings accounts, your CDs, brokerage, mutual funds. A lot of these are your normal banking accounts. If you earn $10 or more in interest, you are required to pay federal taxes on that. Every year, after year, you're always going to pay taxes on these type of accounts. Then you have the tax later accounts. This is where a lot of our retirement accounts are at. This is where you're not paying taxes first. You're putting it off for a later time, which can be good because you're actually having more money in your pocket right now. But depending on the tax rate in the future, you may be paying higher taxes later than what you are right now. Again, these are good accounts. The other one are your tax advantages account. These are accounts where when you put money in, you've already paid taxes. You're not going to have to pay taxes on it later, and it grows tax-free on these. These will be your municipal bonds, your Roth IRAs, executive bonus plans. These are your company plans, and a cash accumulation in a life insurance policy. Those are just some samples of the accounts of when you're going to be paying taxes. And let me stop sharing my screen, and we're going to talk about the financial portfolio. So let me get back over here. Your financial portfolio, it can be, you can only have one checking account, and that is your financial portfolio. You can have a checking and a savings account. That is your financial portfolio. Most people think that a financial portfolio is you have to have a whole lot of different accounts and a whole lot of money just to have a financial portfolio. You don't. So you need to know exactly where your money is at. And I'm just going to give you, I'm going to put this on the screen. I want to show you this. This is a document that you can actually download, and you can actually put down what type of accounts that you have and the type of rate of return that you have. So that way you know exactly where you're at in your financial portfolio. It doesn't matter if you have one account or 10 accounts. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen for a few minutes. Next, I want to talk about having an ideal balance. And what I mean by an ideal balance is when we were talking about your tax now accounts and your fixed accounts, we need those type of accounts. It's okay to pay taxes every year on those accounts. That's okay. We need to have an ideal balance of these accounts. So your tax now, so you have to have a checking account. You need a savings account because you need to be able to have access to your savings for emergency purposes. So your main thing is to have enough money in your savings or a money market account to where if an emergency happens, you can pull from it and not have to use credit cards. So you need to have those tax now accounts. Again, you need the tax later accounts. These are your deferred accounts. This is your retirement accounts. It's okay to have those type of accounts for your retirement, but it doesn't need to be the only type of account that you have for retirement. Then you need to have some in your tax advantage accounts, those that you're not always having to pay taxes on now or even later. Having a good balance, you need to have your money diversified because you don't want to put, as the saying goes, your eggs all in one basket, or in this case, all in one bucket. Because if your money is all, if your retirement is all in one bucket in your tax later accounts, you are in that variable rate of return, and it could jeopardize when you plan on retiring. So it's very good to have a good balance in these type of accounts. All right, so what's next? Again, to get an idea of where you're currently at, which is very, very important, go ahead and download that document of the financial portfolio, and that goes under lhpventures.com/financial portfolio, all one word. Download that. It is digital, so you can type it in on the computer or you can print it out, whichever is easier for you. Write down your accounts in there. Do you have a checking account? What is rate of return? Get a general idea of where you are right now. And if you need to, if you have any questions on anything that we have talked about, go ahead and schedule an appointment with me. And that you can do is lhpventures.com/appointment. This is a free 30-minute appointment. This way we can get an idea of what it is that you are looking for. Is it something I can help you with? Again, this is just to get an idea of where you're at. I want to be able to help you get to where you are. And again, I'm going to put, I don't know if I can have both of these up here, but I want to show you on the appointment. Go ahead and schedule that appointment. It's not going to cost you anything but 30 minutes of your time. And if you just want to download that document, go ahead and download that document, get a head start. And that's all I have for today. Again, I want to say thank you for watching. If this is something that you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, share, forward it to someone who you might think could actually use this information. And again, my name is Laura Henry-Pugh, and I'm here to move you from money taboo to money emboldened. And thank